and there's no bigger hadith than what we'll get into is the name of the nation. You know what I mean? There's no bigger hadith than that. You know? Because there are many elders that were with the Father. We have to admit, they were of that age, they were with the Father, where he said, you all will be a nation of gods and earths. Now he didn't say you will be called a nation of gods. I will give him that. But you will be recognized, a lot of elders would tell me, you'll be recognized by other nations as a nation of you gods and earths. Because remember, the term earth though wasn't being said until much later. So there's a term that he said much later. You know what I mean? So the Father was not rigid from the get. People are forgetting that mathematics was something he devised and worked it out, whether it was correct or not, in like almost like how we would work out moves in martial arts. He worked it out in sparring combat. You know what I'm saying? He worked it out going back and forth with them and said, this is correct. Let me tell you, I'm saying it's knowledge. It's not wisdom knowledge. Because remember, all the papers, Elijah was always saying wisdom knowledge. No, it's not. It should be knowledge first. This was a discourse. Like, people don't really understand that this father, I keep saying father's a scholar, and they're just going, yeah, he's really smart. No, I mean like a scholar where like they were going back with those intelligent minds of that time and having a discourse. And he was saying, listen, this is knowledge. It's got to be first. Here's why. And then people will what? See if you can refute that. That's analytical thinking skills being developed. Where you can say, why wouldn't it be there? Because that's what a scientist does. That experiments with high explosives, he says, do we change this? Or how can this be? Or we say knowledge is first. Well, what if it wasn't first? Just so we could test it. You know what I'm saying? Well, if understanding is first, well, what you understand? Like, right? It seems basic to us now. It's hard for us to reverse engineer it because it's so part of our lives, right? But he was doing that. But then when we see people saying, no, the Father said this, and he didn't say that. And I go off the cuff with people saying things like, we don't born the mathematics anymore, this and that. And I'm like, the Father didn't do that. We have no record of the Father doing that. Let's say there's no record of the Father doing that. I know as a fact, my word is bond and bond is life. Every firstborn that I ever built with, every first fruit that I ever built with, and my enlightener and everyone else I built with, had me in front of them build on the day's mathematics and born it and have a build. And I would come here every day. The year that I got here to the next year that I started teaching, I would have to come here every day and be scrutinized and be educated every single day on this and practice this and be ready. Well, so let's say the Father didn't do it, and you say, no, it's God. Aren't we the best part able to scrutinize, able to say, this is a wonderful teaching tool, and it builds the student's ability to combine principles in Supreme Math and see how they always adhere and can be focused on. No. All we do is go, one elder says, apparently, and I ain't never heard it, one elder that is verified, that they say is verified, says we didn't do it. So we're not doing it anymore because it's not right and exact. Now you lost a great teaching tool. You know what I'm saying? That's like me saying, like, I remember my Sigung saying, like, oh no, you don't have to do this. Like, there were certain weights. He said, you didn't need to do that. Man, I do everything. I lift weights, resistance bands. I do everything that I can fit into my home gym. If it fits in there, I go get it. And then I figure out how can I put this in the time without spending all day doing this. Right? So I try to incorporate everything that I think could be useful. You know what I mean? So I'm like, where are the reasons? If we're dealing with students, if we're teaching people to be true and living gods, I think the problem is we're trying to teach people to be gods of this nation and not be gods of the universe. I teach people to be gods of the universe. I want them outside and when you bring back something here, it's because you love this, you love us, and it is out of love. Not because, man, I owe them because they gave me a lot of stuff. Well, you know what? That's whack. Because I've been teaching a long time now, and if I start sitting here and wait for what I deserve and what people ought to pay me back and stuff like that, then now I'm the teacher waiting for a mystery God. And I'm not doing that. I want to teach you, and if you have love for this, and if you can add on to it in some way, then you get back. Because if we teach the student properly, and they love this knowledge. Sometimes their greatest gifts to the world is not back to the nation, but to the world. And it might be to the world. You know, it might not be in a nation like this. You know what I mean? So I take it as I get it. You know what I mean? I take it as I get it. You know?
You must do your own research, as I did.
If Mecca did this.